Hello friends, how are you? In yesterday class, we discussed about that molecule of element. We discussed about molecule of element, in which we said that molecule of similar or one type of atom is called element. Molecule of similar or one type of atoms is called element. Or you can also say that a group of similar type of atoms, a group of similar type of atoms is called element. That we discussed like the example like the H2, O2, Cl2, N2, S8, P4, etc., etc. That comes in the category of molecule of element. Now in today's class we discussed about the molecule of compound. Molecule of compound. The questions comes in our mind, that is, what is molecule of compound? A pure substance made up by two or more elements. A pure substance made up by two or more elements which are chemically bonded in a definite pattern, in a definite proportion, which are chemically bonded in definite proportion by mass. Definite proportion by mass is called compound. Is called compound. Got it? I am again repeating. A pure substance made up by two or more elements which chemically bonded in definite proportion. Here one thing, let me clear you that they must be chemically bonded. They must be chemically bonded in a definite proportion. In a definite proportion by mass. Definite proportion of mass. Got it? For example, like if we consider some example like water, that is H2O. Here the combining elements are hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen by mass is 1:8. In water it is always 1:8. Similarly in ammonia, the constituting or combining elements are nitrogen and hydrogen, and their ratio is 14:3. Similarly in carbon dioxide, the combining elements are carbon and oxygen, and their ratio is 3:8. Got it? Now, there is a topic that derivation of the molecular formula or ratio of atoms by mass ratio. If there is a given mass ratio, then we can derive the molecular formula of that molecule. We can derive. Okay. For example, we have to derive the formula of water. As we know that water is H2, but now we will derive it by mass ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. As you know, the ratio of masses in water, that means ratio of hydrogen and oxygen, is 1:8. It is given. Now you have to derive the simple ratio of their atoms, that means the molecular formula. For that, we derive the simple ratio or relative ratio by dividing the mass ratio and the atomic masses of the elements. For example, the element, that is hydrogen, and the mass ratio as per given, that is 1. As you know, the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Similarly oxygen, the mass ratio according to the question is 8, and you know that atomic mass is 16. Okay. Now we derive its relative ratio, that is called relative ratio, the ratio of mass divided by atomic masses. Okay. 1:1, because its mass ratio is 1 and atomic mass is 1. 1 into 1, that is 1. Got it? That is 1. 18 divided by 16, that is half. Now the relative ratio is frictional, that is a friction number, and we know that in a molecule atoms are always present in complete numbers, whole numbers. So we have to make it in convert it into complete number. Okay, for that we multiplied with by 2, and similar multiplication is done with the hydrogen also. Why we did that? Because this ratio which we obtained was half. Here that is 1, that is a complete number, but here that is half. And as we discussed that the ratio always the ratio always the number of atoms will always complete or whole number, but here that is half. That's why to convert it into complete number we multiplied by 2, and to balance that we also multiply that by 2. That's why it becomes 2 and it becomes 1. So the simplest ratio becomes 2 1. So the ratio of number of atoms in water is hydrogen and oxygen, that is 2:1. So the chemical formula: hydrogen, that is 2, that is 2, that is 1, that is 1. Got it? So with the help of the relative masses, or we can see that mass ratios, we can easily derive the chemical formula of any substance. Now our next topic is ion and ion. The most simplest definition, if we consider then the charged particles, the charged particles, particle here may be atom or may be molecule, is called ions. Okay, if we describe that about particles, then we can say that the atom or group of atoms, the atom or group of atoms having net charge is called ion. Atom or group of atoms having net charge is called ion. Got it? Ion can be classified into two ways. Ion can be classified into two ways depending upon, that is depending upon the classification of that is depending upon the charge or by on the basis of number of atoms. If we consider the charge, then ion grouped into two categories: one is cation and one is anion. Cation and anion. Cation means the ion which have positive charge. For example, Na plus, Zn plus 2, Al plus 3, NH4 plus, Cl, etc. comes in the category of cation. While anions, that means the ion which have ions which have negative charge. For example, Cl negative, Br negative, O negative 2 or minus 2. Sometimes it also write like that. So it depend on us. Okay, carbonate, sulfate, etc. all of these have negative charges. On the number of atoms, ions grouped into two categories. One is monoatomic and second is polyatomic. Mono means one atom. When a single atom having charge, when a single atom having charge like Na plus, Cl negative, Br negative, Zn plus, Al plus, Zn plus 2, Al plus 3, etc., that's come in the category of monoatomic ions. If a group of atoms a group of atoms have charge, net charge, then it is called polyatomic ions. For example, NH4 positive, CO3 negative, SO4 negative, 2 CO3, 2 negative, SO4, 2 negative, etc. That's now let's discuss one by one. First, cation. As we discussed that the positively charged ion is called cation. Now the questions come in our mind that how how a cation is formed. For cation formation, we have to create positive charge. And the positive charge creation is done by removing one or more electron. Is done by removing one or more electron. Got it? So we can say that it is formed by removing one or more electron. The number of electron which is removed create same positive charge. That means if one electron is removed, then one positive charge, two electron removed, two positive charge, three electron removed, three positive charge. Got it? Suppose that is A, that is a neutral atom, and when energy is supplied, then it remove one electron, it donate one electron or two electron or three electron, depends on the nature of neutral atom. Suppose it remove the n electron, and that is a number which may be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and so on. Normally that is 1 2 3 4, okay, 3 4 and maximum that is 7 and 8. Clear? Okay. Now that is n electron is removed, then it create n positive charge. Got it? Cation, which is called cation. Understand? Now let me move to the anion. What is anion? The negatively charged ion. The negatively charged ion is called anion. Is called anion. If positive charge is created by removing electron, then negative charge will create by adding electron, okay, or gaining electron. That's why we can say that anion is formed by gain one or more electron. Anion is formed by gain of one or more electron. Suppose B, that is a neutral atom, it receive n electron. The addition of one electron create one negative charge. Addition of two electron will create two negative charge. Like that, addition of n electron will create n negative charge. That's why it becomes B negative n, and that is number of electron. Example: Cl negative, Br negative, O2 negative, and 3 negative, etc., etc. Second classification was on the basis of number of atoms. On the basis of that, we discussed that it is grouped into two categories: monoatomic and second is polyatomic. Mono means single atom. When a single atom having net charge, then it is called monoatomic ion or simple radical. It is also called simple radical. Na plus, Cl negative, O minus 2, Mg plus 2. Here we are not considering the it is a cation or anion. We are considering only the number of atoms. Clear? Second is polyatomic. A group of atoms having net charge. When a group of atoms having net charge is called polyatomic ion or combined radical. It is also called combined radical. For example, NH4 positive, CO3 negative, 2 NO3 nitrate, etc., etc. Let me rewind it again. On the basis of charge, it is grouped into two categories. One is cation, one is anion. Cation means positive charge. For making cation, the neutral atom remove or lose one or more electron. Second was anion. The atom or group of atom having negative charge is called anion. And for anion formation, the atom or group of atoms receive or gain one or more electron. Okay. Now, second basis of classification was number of atoms. On the basis of number of atoms, ions are two types. Ions are grouped into two categories. One is called monoatomic. Mono means one. Mono means one. Atomic means atom. That means when a single atom having net charge, is called monoatomic radical or simple monoatomic ion or simple radical. Similarly, polyatomic, a group of atom having net charge. When a group of atom having net charge, then it is called polyatomic ion. Then it is called polyatomic ion. Got it? Or it is also called combined radical. Clear? Now, the one more point which is very important for us, that is valency of ion. Valency of ion. Before discussing about the valency of ion, let me discuss the meaning of valency. Valency means combining capacity. Valency means combining capacity or combining power. Combining capacity or combining power. Simply we can say that combining capacity, that means number of bonds. How many number of bonds formed by an atom? That is its valency. Okay, so if we consider on the both points, then we can make two definitions. First one is the combining capacity. The combining capacity or power of an atom or ion is called its valence. And second one is the number of bonds which are formed by an atom of element or ion is called its valency. Clear? Particularly if we discuss about the ions, then we can say that the combining capacity of ion is called valency, or the number of bonds which are formed by ion is called its valency. The valency of ion is always equal to charge present on it. Not considering positive negative, we have to consider only charge. If that is plus 2 charge, that means its valency is 2. If it is minus 3 charge, then valency is 3. There is no consideration of positive and negative. Positive, if we consider the positive and negative and numerical value, then it is charge. But if we are considering only the numerical value, that is its valency. Got it? Now, there is a table of ions, and for your kind information, that it is very important for us. It is very important for us, because according to me, if you memorize this table here and someone are in other side also, then your problem of memorizing the formula of different substances will automatically solve. How it is, we will discuss about, but let first we discuss about the table of ions. Here, that is cation and that is anion. H positive is called hydrogen ion, Na positive is called sodium, K positive potassium, Ag plus silver, Cu plus, that is called copper first or cuprous. Copper first or cuprous. NH4 positive is known as ammonia. Similarly, if we consider the anion part which having the valency 1, here the both are the valency which having the valency 1, that is plus 1 and that is minus 1. Hydride H negative. Look at here, if it is positive then it's called hydrogen, but if it is negative then it is hydride. Chloride, bromide, iodide, hydroxide, nitrate, cyanide, Cn negative, nitrite, NO3, NO2 negative, acetate, CS3, COO negative. These have one valency because they have minus 1 charge, and these have one valency because they have positive 1 charge. Got it? Now, let me discuss some more. Now, here, these are the examples having the valency 2, that means they have positive 2 charge, plus 2 charge. Magnesium, calcium, zinc, iron second or called ferrous, copper second or called cupric, lead, stannous. All of these have plus 2 charge, that means valency is 2. Similarly, if we consider the negative, that is anion, then oxide, sulfide, carbonate, sulfite, sulfate, they have valency 2. If we consider the valency 3 ions, then cations are aluminium, iron third, ferric, iron third, which is also called ferric, chromium third, that is have plus 3 charge, so the valency is 3. Similarly, if we consider the anion, then nitride, phosphate, phosphide, that's P negative 3, phosphate, PO4 negative 3. These, all of these have negative charge, so the valency is 3. And if we consider some other, that is polyatomic, if we consider the poly more than 3, then stannic, SN4, and arsenic, these are some examples. Now, I'm sure that you have questions in your mind that how the name of cation and anion is decided. How the cation and name of anions are decided. Now, it is, firstly let me clear you that this is out of your syllabus, but if we do not consider that point, then it will be a question mark in your mind in your lifetime till any teacher discussed about it. So I am discussing about the naming. One thing, let me clear you that there are no definite rules of naming of cation and anions. There are no definite rules. Got it? Here are some rules which mostly use. So I am considering here some general rules. First, no change in name of monoatomic cation having one type of valence. If it is only one type of valency, that means it is not having variable valency. That means it is showing +2 and +3, not like that. Only one type of valency and monoatomic, then there is no change, there is no need to change in its name. For example, Na plus, Na shows only one, that is N plus valency, so its name is sodium ion. If it is polyatomic, if it is polyatomic, it is polyatomic, then cation, polyatomic cation, then em is added, then em is added. For example, NH4 positive, NH4 positive is called ammonium, is called ammonium. Got it? Now, the one more thing, that is us and ik. Us and ik, these suffix, that means the portion which is added after the ending of the name, is used for cations having variable valency, having variable valency. Us is used for the lower charge or less charge conditions, while ik is for more charge or higher charge ion. Got it? In the modern pattern, the if the element having the variable valency, then Roman number are used. To understand these points, let me discuss about the iron and copper. Two examples. Iron exists into 2 plus and plus 3, 3 plus both states. One is +2 and second is +3. Since it is variable valency, so us and ik pattern is used, or Roman numerical system is used, that is +2 and +3. It is lower and it is higher. That's why in the name of it, us, ferrous, because iron is ferrum, ferrum, IUM removed and OUS is added, so that is ferrous, and it is higher, so that is ferric. Got it? Or we can also write that iron second, because it is has +2 charge, so that is iron second, and it has plus 3, so it is also called iron third. So we can say ferrous or ferric or iron second and iron third. Similarly, copper plus 2, plus 1 and plus 2, that is lower, so that is cuprous. It is higher, so that is cupric. Cupric. Got it? It is first, it is second. Now let us discuss rules of nomenclature of anions. It is most complex pattern in naming of ions. For monoatomic anion, that is IDE is used. If it is monoatomic, then it is IDE used. For example, oxygen minus 2, since it is only single atom, so that is monoatomic, so name is oxide. Cl negative, that is name is chloride. Got it? For polyatomic anion having oxygen, if polyatomic ion and having oxygen, then 8 and 8 is used. 8 and 8 is used. 8 and 8 is used. Got it? 8 is used the condition which have more oxygen or only one type of ion is formed having the oxygen, then 8 is used. But if it is 2, that means one have higher oxygen, one have less oxygen, then the less oxygen containing ion is named by ITE 8. Okay, to understand it, let us consider the example. SO3 2 negative and SO4 2 negative. SO3 2 negative, SO4 2 negative. Here that is less oxygen, here that is more, because 3 and 4. So it is named sulfite and it is sulfate. Got it? Similarly, NO3 NO2 negative and NO3 negative, both are consist nitrogen or oxygen, but it has less oxygen, it has more, so it is named nitrite, it is named nitrate. Okay, these are some rules. These are some rules of naming the ions. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.